Hello everyone, and welcome to this video on the Leo full moon, which is happening January 28th at 2:16 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a few really big themes that I feel and see emerging at this time, and they are around creative self-expression, embracing your personal power, and also how the human self, the ego, and our infinite self come together and play together in this earthly experience, and also a theme around embracing your playful inner child. So we're really going to dive into some of these main themes today. And as always with a full moon, there is this element of releasing and letting go of any of the heavy baggage you've been carrying around, or any old thought patterns, old habits that are really just not a match to where you are going and who you know you can be in your highest potential. This is a time to let that go and release. And also full moons are amplifiers. So whatever is going on under the surface at the time of the full moon, we see that being expressed in a bigger way. And we can see this happening in our own individual experience with a lot of emotions emerging around the time of a full moon, or even days leading up to this. Like, you're probably already feeling it if you're really sensitive to energy. And we also see it in the collective as well, where we just see a lot emerging and coming forward at this time. So say hi if you are joining me today. It is so great to have you here. You know, I always love to welcome you in. We've got Sarah, hello Gail, my dad's here, and Ashley and Tess, welcome. Thank you so much for the love and the hearts. So if you are new to me, my name is Cara Melendi. I'm a master astrologer. I'm also an Akashic Records practitioner, and I love supporting spiritual leaders and light workers in getting their healing work into the world, getting their message into the world, making the big difference they came here to create on the planet, and receiving abundantly for it, receiving abundantly for their soul's work. And at this time, I have the doors open to my Akashic Inner Circle. So this is for the spiritual entrepreneur that is looking to massively scale their business, evolve spiritually, and tap into new levels of wealth. And in this space, we are working with astrology. So you will work with your unique energetic blueprint to scale and expand your business. Also doing high-level work in the space of the Akashic Records to really connect to the blueprint of your business, and from that space, grow and expand and get your message out there in a bigger way and call in those soulmate clients. And then, of course, there is strategy as well that will support you in expanding your business. So if you are interested in the Akashic Inner Circle, send me a message and we can chat about that. So let's get back to this beautiful Leo full moon. We're going to begin by looking at the energy of Leo, since that is where this full moon is happening. And Leo is the sign of really stepping up and taking center stage in your life. Anytime I think of the Leo energy, I think of like being the star of our life, stepping up onto the stage, allowing ourselves to be seen, allowing ourselves to be creatively expressed. And I find with the Leo energy, there's a lot out there in astrology. There's a lot around the shadow aspect of Leo. And with any of the zodiac signs or any of the cosmic energy at any time, there's a lower octave of expression and there's a higher octave of expression. So in the shadow or lower octave, the Leo energy can be all about the ego, or look at me, or needing that external approval in order to feel valued. And we really want to look at that in our life right now, like where we are needing that external validation before we feel we are good enough, or before we feel we are worthy. But in the highest expression, this energy is about knowing your innate worthiness, your innate value, and just owning that and claiming that, which is so much power when we are able to do that, right? Just know we are worthy. Imagine what would shift in your life if you no longer questioned whether you were good enough to have what you desire, or whether it could happen for you and you just knew. That's the confidence of the Leo in the highest expression. And regardless of whether or not that is your zodiac sign, at this time, we are all being showered in that energy, and we are asked to take that center stage to know our innate value and to know our innate worth and not have that be questioned. Now, also with the Leo energy, it really is about the persona, the human self. And you could even see it as the ego. But when I say ego, I simply mean when we come into this human experience, when we come into these physical bodies, we become unique expressions for infinite intelligence to flow through us. And that's like our human experience, right? It's our personality, our likes, our dislikes, the identity that we kind of embrace and take on. Leo energy and this Leo full moon is like, it's really putting a spotlight on that. And it's encompassing a lot of that energy. And so we are really looking at our identity and how we are showing up in the world right now, and allowing ourselves to be that unique expression of infinite intelligence. And this energy, and when we are working with the Leo Aquarius axis, which is really at play at this full moon with the moon in Leo and the sun conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius, it isn't about fitting in. It isn't about, I don't want to say belong, because we all do belong. Simply because we're here, we belong on the planet. But it isn't about how we conform or fit in. It is about being unique. It is about embracing our eccentric self and allowing that to shine through. And we're really invited to explore that at this full moon, how you're embracing your uniqueness, those qualities that may seem like a little quirky or out there. This is about owning that and embracing that. And I know, many of the people that come into my space, they're star seeds. They consider themselves star seeds. They are star seeds. And often with star seeds, we have this deep feeling from an early age that we don't quite fit in. And I always like to see it that we don't fit in because we're here to change the world. We're here to bring about change. We're not here to conform to the current standards. We're here to bring a new viewpoint and perspective, but we belong. And there is an important difference there. You may feel that you don't fit in, and that can be a good thing, but you absolutely do belong. And this cosmic energy is a beautiful reminder of that you belong on the planet, that you are here for an important reason at this time. And it's really inviting you to go within and explore what that is and having fun with it. I really want to convey the importance of that energy of fun and playfulness that is coming in with this energy too. Leo energy is about embracing that inner child. So it can be helpful as well to even reflect back to, your childhood years, and you call on those memories of the times where you were having fun and you were just playing and you were allowing your imagination to go wild and you were just exploring and you weren't putting any limitations on it. You want to tap back into that energy at this time, that playful inner child. And any challenges or obstacles that you are facing in your life, you want to bring that perspective of the curious inner child, of asking questions, of asking how you can bring more fun and playfulness into whatever you are creating in your life at this time. And really watching how it transforms when you bring that element of just wanting to play and have fun. And I think we really need more of that in our life, and as a collective, of not taking it all so serious, but just having more fun with it. And this Leo energy can really help us embrace that and tap into that. If you're just joining me, say hi. I want to welcome you in. Hello, Ryan and Emer. So great to have you, and Erica, Louisa, Lisa, Johanna, happy full moon. Ashley, definitely learning I am a star seed. Yes, I tend to draw star seeds into my space for sure. And I always like to stress that message that we may feel like we don't fit in, but we absolutely do belong. And that energy, oh my goodness, is coming in so strong with this full moon. That reminder that we do belong on the planet, and that importance of embracing what makes us unique, not wanting to fit in or conform, but actually wanting to stand out and feeling really confident in doing that, feeling really confident in owning your gifts and your talents. So that's the Leo energy we are playing with here. Now, opposite the Leo energy is the Sun and Jupiter conjunct in the sign of Aquarius. And we are currently in Aquarius season. We have also recently stepped into the Aquarian age. And we know this is a time of major ascension on the planet, where we are really stepping into this new earth energy. And the Aquarian energy is about community. So with the Leo energy, it's about the self and being strong in who you are. With the Sun and Jupiter in Aquarius, it's about how you're giving back to the community. It's about the role you are playing to bring about a shift on this planet. And you can see how these energies, it's the axes of Leo and Aquarius, how they play together. Because before you can make a big difference on the planet and really be that global world changer, which I know, I feel if you're drawn to me and my work in this video, that's probably what you're here to do. First, you have to be really grounded in who you are and how infinite intelligence is wanting to be expressed and channeled through you. And once you have that, then you can ask, okay, how do I share this with the planet? How do I give back and contribute to the evolution that is happening at this time? And this aspect as well between the Sun conjunct Jupiter is really showering us with abundance and good fortune and love that is there to tap into. And I think we have, well, I know we all have in some way, you know, we've been through quite a journey throughout 2020 and even coming into this year. And I've had quite a few people reach out and ask, like, is this going to be, you know, a chaotic year? Is this going to be a year where there's, you know, more struggle and change? And I always think we get a say in how we play with this energy. Yes, we are in a time of massive transformation and up-leveling and ascension, and part of that can feel a little chaotic, but that's why we are also invited to bring in this element of joy and fun and playfulness as well. And what I see happening cosmically is a lot of blessings are coming in, but we have to be open and ready to receive them. It's like collectively we have gone through some pretty traumatic times. And it's like in our own life when we go through traumatic things and we kind of hold on to that fear in our body and we don't always allow ourselves to like feel safe in feeling good. Like, is it safe for me to feel good? Is it safe for me to feel happy, or is something suddenly going to come in and take that away? It's like collectively we're feeling a little bit of that energy too. Like, can I really lean in and trust that it's going to be good, that abundance is going to flow in, that things are going to improve? But we need to have that faith and we need to have this trust. And this full moon is inviting us to already notice all the positive shifts that are unfolding on the planet, as well as all the positive shifts that are unfolding in your life. Sun conjunct Jupiter is a really strong aspect that does bring good fortune and blessings, but we must be open to receiving it. We must be open to allowing that to flow into our life and into our experience. So at this full moon, it may be helpful to take time to journal and reflect on if you are allowing that joy and abundance to flow into your life, in what areas are you blocking it? And again, maybe you're blocking it out of fear. Can it really be this good? Or will something happen that takes this away? Can I really like trust that the better it gets, the better it gets? And really explore that and allow yourself to sink more deeply into allowing that goodness into your life. Let me know how this is resonating so far. I feel there's just so much information flowing in around this full moon to share with you. Lizette, starseeds are us. I love that. Beautiful. Amanda, working on identity all week long. Yes, that's in the spotlight for sure. How we see ourselves, how we show up. I love that you mentioned that, because that is another theme I want to hone in on a little bit with this full moon energy. So it is bringing into perspective. So the Leo energy, Leo is ruled by the sun, and in astrology, the sun governs our personality and our identity. And we have this human self, right? We have this identity that we take on, like these labels of, you know, what we do, how we show up in the world, whether or not we're in a relationship, all these ways we define ourselves. And that's okay. That's our human self. That's our persona. You could call it the ego. But then we also have our infinite self, who we are on a soul level. And we really want to invite ourselves to connect to that more deeply all of the time. Because when we see ourselves through the eyes of infinite intelligence, when we connect to our infinite self, we realize that all is possible in our life, that we are playing in the energy and the field of pure potential. And we detach from old belief patterns, old identities that don't serve us. And that's where we experience quantum leaps in our life, is we are no longer held back by these stories or beliefs about who we are and what is possible. We evolve beyond them. And this full moon is that invitation to evolve beyond any of the ways you've been holding yourself back or limiting yourself, putting limits on what is possible for you. The Aquarian age, and we are in Aquarius season right now, is about embracing the impossible. And really the so-called impossible, what we label as impossible on the earth plane, just means that it hasn't been done yet. Or maybe we're not at a level of consciousness where we are allowing that to come into our experience. But right now we're breaking through that and we're challenging that. So even in your own life, look at where you've capped yourself or where you said, this is impossible for me. Maybe someone else can do this, but it's not possible for me. And you're asked at this time to break through that, to break through those limitations and to see yourself through the eyes of the divine. And when you do that, everything will begin to shift in your life. And I feel the more I study the charts of this full moon, I pull up the full moon chart. I also look at, of course, leading up to that. What are the energies after that? So I can put it in the context of the bigger picture. I feel into the Akashic records of the energies that are coming through at this time. And there definitely is a big theme right now of how the human ego self and our infinite self are playing together right now. And you're really going to feel that at the full moon and use that energy to look at, okay, commit to yourself. I'm going to release any of the ways I'm holding myself back, I'm self-sabotaging, or I'm limiting myself. And I'm going to begin to see through the eyes of my wise higher self, and I'm going to take action, and I'm going to make decisions from that space. And there's so much power in that. So much power. All right. So another beautiful aspect that I feel is important to touch on here is we have Mercury, the communication planet, also in Aquarius. So even though this full moon is happening in Leo, what makes it a full moon is the moon is opposite the sun. And any full moon, we're working with an opposition. And this opposition here, this full moon is working with the Leo Aquarius axes. So we have the moon in Leo, but we have a stellium right now in Aquarius. So we have the sun, we have Jupiter, we have Saturn, and we also have Mercury hanging out in Aquarius. And Mercury is preparing to retrograde as well. So shortly after this full moon, Mercury is going to have the first retrograde of the year. And I know Mercury retrogrades are one of those things in astrology that are quite popular as well. And again, I think we focus too much on the shadow of Mercury retrograde, of tech mishaps, miscommunication, the implications for travel. Mercury does govern all of that, but on a deeper level, Mercury retrogrades are about internal reflection. They're about going in and looking at our mindset, our belief systems, and the stories we tell ourselves, because the stories we tell ourselves become the foundation of our life. They become the lens in which we see the world through. So Mercury retrograde, especially this one in the sign of Aquarius, kicking off this Aquarian age, really is about developing mental strength, being mentally strong. And what I mean by this is be very aware of the thoughts you are entertaining. Be very aware of where you are placing your focus. And Mercury in Aquarius is about thinking outside of the box. It is about seeing things in a new creative way. Like that's the energy we're playing in right now. No longer just rehashing the past, reliving the past, right? Seeing these old cycles continually repeat because we haven't learned and we haven't grown. Mercury in Aquarius is like, let's do something differently. Let's see this in a new light. And that's where I think this element of connecting to our infinite self, our higher self, is coming in, where we are able to transcend the limitations of our ego and human self and see things in a new way, see new possibilities. So even in our life or in our society, we may be facing similar challenges or obstacles, but we are now seeing it in a new way. So we are seeing and activating new solutions. And I feel this is a strong possibility coming in right now. We are seeing new solutions to old problems. And, you know, that's the energy we're playing in right now. It is a new energy we are feeling into that's very progressive, that's very creative, that is very solution focused. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And where any of the chaos may be coming in is we are learning to stabilize in this new energy. So it's like our human self, our physical self is getting used to playing in this new frequency. And that can feel a little uncomfortable. It's like any time in your life where you go through this period of up-leveling, your human self has to get used to being in this new energy and new frequency and seeing things in a new way. So let me know how this is resonating here. There's a couple of other aspects that I want to touch on with this full moon as well. Hello, Amanda. How are you? Beautiful. Simona, Nita. Hello, Geraldine. All right. Rita's here as well. Okay. So another thing really being activated with this full moon is we are seeing a lot of fixed energy. So fixed energy in astrology, like any of the energies, can be it can be used in different ways. So the fixed element can bring out the part of us that's really stubborn. And that's the part we want to evolve beyond. The stubborn part of us that is stuck in the old ways of doing things, that is stuck holding on to old grudges. It is time to let that go. Now, the best way we can use all of this fixed energy that's being activated, Leo is a fixed sign, Aquarius is a fixed sign. So we got a lot of planets there. We have Mars in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus, also a fixed energy. So a ton of fixed energy. We want to be aware of where we are stubbornly stuck in ways of seeing or doing things, because when we do that, we actually block the new solutions from flowing in, right? We stay stuck in the problem, just going around in circles and not seeing the solution that may be there right in front of us. Now, the higher octave of this energy is about persistence. It's about staying focused on what you desire to create and moving toward it every day and not letting anything hold you back. And again, I work with a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, and that consistency really pays off. Too many people in their life give up before they get to what they desire. But if you are persistent, you will get there. You got to be persistent and move forward. And this energy can really help you with that, can really help you hone in on what you desire to manifest and create and take steps to get there. So again, with this energy, you want to release the aspects where you may be stuck in stubborn old patterns, or you're being really stubborn. You're not wanting to see things in a new way. You're just like, nope, this is the way I see it. This is the way I do it, and I'm not going to budge. That's not conducive to growth. So we want to let go of those patterns, but the persistence can be really good to hang on to and just continuing to move forward. And so again, a lot of the planets are in that fixed energy, and Mars conjunct Uranus, which is at the time of this full moon as well, is really playing into that as well. Mars conjuncting Uranus in the sign of Taurus really is about liberating ourselves from the self-imposed limitations, from ways we have held ourselves back. This is a time where it's like, okay, it's time to be free. It's time to break free from those limitations and really allow ourselves to move forward. Ryan, cutting cords to old patterns. Yes, I love that. And I always call in Archangel Michael to help with the cord cutting, and Archangel Raphael to do any necessary healing work. So that's an easy thing we can all do, and that you can incorporate into your full moon ritual, is when you become aware of unhealthy patterns that are at play in a relationship, or maybe just a pattern that you have around money, or that's in play in your business or in your relationships that you're ready to let go of. Call in Archangel Michael to help you cut those unhealthy cords, or just, unhealthy cords, unhealthy attachments that aren't serving you. And then call on Archangel Raphael to do any of the necessary healing work that's involved with that. And that's a beautiful way just to release those old attachments and really begin to move forward into this new cycle. because this is a full moon, which is about releasing. So we are doing a lot of releasing. I feel there's a lot surfacing in the collective right now that we are purging, that we are letting go of. And you know, an interesting element of that too, like we are moving into the Aquarian age, which is about the creation of a new earth. It is about ascension. And I think if we just open our eyes, we can see that all around us. That change really is happening, that we are seeing things in a new way. We are seeing the rise of new spiritual leaders and a new way of leading. Now, we also still have Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. And this is something that I haven't seen a lot of astrologers really mention, because there has been just such a focus on the Aquarian age, the new earth moving forward. Of course, let's embrace all of that. But Pluto's still doing its work in Capricorn of breaking down the old systems and structures that are at play in our society that are no longer serving our growth and evolution. So we are still seeing a breakdown of those old systems. And at the time of the full moon, we have Pluto and Venus conjunct together in Capricorn. And Venus is the goddess of love, of beauty, of prosperity. So there's an element here of relationships that are coming in too, where a lot of us may be evolving in our relationships, where we are letting go of past relationships that have served their purpose, and we're moving into new ones, or the relationships in our life are really up-leveling right now. This is also a really good time for like business partnerships and new collaborations, because we're really kind of in that career mindset focus of, okay, and in the highest expression, how can these collaborations be really win-win and really support us in moving forward, support both of us, right? So it's an excellent time for those types of relationships. And it's also a really good time to look at like finances and money. Venus governs money and finances as well. So we're seeing this on it as a collective, where we are changing the way we relate to money, the way we see money as a currency in our society. There's lots of changes there. And in your own personal life, you can look at your money journey as well, and your relationship with money at this time, and really ask, is this serving me? What unhealthy patterns am I holding on to around money? Am I allowing money to control me? Am I allowing money to be more powerful than me? And come back to remembering you are ultimately so powerful. You are a reflection of infinite intelligence. You are more powerful than money. This is, again, drawing on that Leo energy. Step into your power. Remember how powerful you are. Look at ways and areas in your life where you may be giving that power away to something outside of you, which never ultimately serves us. Amanda's transforming relationships. Crystal's loving the Pluto energy. Yes, I really love Pluto energy too. Hi, Jaya. Welcome, beautiful. Pluto is a powerhouse, right? And it's like anytime we have a Pluto transit in our chart, we feel it. It's the planet of death, rebirth, and regeneration. It's the planet of transformation. And how I love to work with Pluto energy is really cultivating that sense of strong internal power and that unstoppable life force energy. And again, where it's working through Capricorn, I mean, in that area, we're seeing like the breakdown of systems and structures in our society that are not supportive. You can also look at this in your own life as well, though. Where are you undergoing that internal transformation? Where are you being more called to connect to that sense of personal power? And when I talk about power, because I feel it's one of those words, there's a lot attached to it. And this full moon is really getting us to look at power in the highest octave. So we've all seen in our society and probably have had experiences in our life where we feel someone in a position of power has misused that in some way. So sometimes when we look at this element of power, it's like we don't fully want to step in or embrace that because we've seen the shadow side of it. But this power that I talk about is that personal empowerment that comes from a space of love, that comes from being grounded in your self-worth and who you really are from the perspective of your infinite self. It's that internal power that is grounded in love. And Leo does govern the heart chakra and solar plexus. Who's feeling energy in that area? Heart chakra and solar plexus. So this is about power that is infused with love. and we, personal empowerment, compassion. So we're really, really feeling into that energy, and that's how we want to use our power. Now, another theme too that I just feel coming in now, important to mention anytime we have like a Leo moon, is this idea of leadership. And that can go hand in hand with power as well. How we use our power, how we are showing up as leaders. And again, with this energy, leading from a space of love. So not allowing our ego to take over, not needing external validation, which can sometimes really happen, right? On social media, we get caught up in followers and likes and all of those things. We get too much in our ego and we allow that to determine our level of self-worth. But it's time we rise above that, right? We want to take that out of the equation and just know, yes, of course I'm worthy from this space. What do I now create? So how this really comes back into play with leadership is we want to also look at, just in our day-to-day life, how we're leading ourselves through the challenges and obstacles that come up. When no one else is looking, how are you showing up for yourself? And during those difficult times, are you able to still keep the faith? Are you able to still remember who you are and what is possible? There's a lot of power and strength that we can tap into right now that's allowing us to lead ourselves through those challenges from a space that's so grounded in love that it just transforms everything in our life. It's really, really beautiful, really powerful. Hi, Mindy, welcome. Oh, I'm so glad you find these videos valuable. Thank you. I really enjoy sharing them. All right, so those are our main themes around this full moon. As you can see, there's a lot being activated. There's a lot happening. So really take time to look at what you are releasing, what you are letting go of. And I invite you to feel into some of these main themes. So creative self-expression, how you are showing up and being that creative expression of infinite intelligence. How are you sharing your message and your work with the world? And looking at this dynamic between the human self, your ego, and your infinite self, and how they are playing together. And really inviting more play and joyfulness and ease into your life. Really, we're invited to look at that. Any challenges that are emerging, how can this feel more fun? How can I invite more playfulness into this? So definitely a lot of beautiful energy being activated here. And of course, embracing your eccentric self. What makes you unique? Don't worry about fitting in. Keep in mind you belong. You're here on the earth plane. You belong. You have a special role to play. Don't worry about fitting in. Be more focused on how do I just embrace what makes me different, what makes me special, what makes me unique, and how do I shine that more brightly into the world? Beautiful way to work with this full moon energy. So once again, if you would like to join me in the Akashic Inner Circle, that is starting soon. And this is a space for spiritual leaders and light workers who are looking to massively scale their business. So you know it's time. You feel the energy of the Aquarian age and you want to get your message out into the world in bigger ways. You want to tap into more financial abundance. So really receiving abundantly for the work you do in the world. And in this space, we are working with astrology. So you will work closely with your birth chart, which is your energetic blueprint, and using that energy to create expansion in your business. There'll also be high-level work in the Akashic records as well. So connecting to the energetic blueprint of your business, and from there creating a strategy that allows you to expand into new levels of income and impact. So if you're interested in the Inner Circle, reach out. It's really a magical space. It's going to be group work as well as one-on-one work. And it's going to be massive expansion, like amazing. If you're ready for quantum leaps, quantum expansion, quantum growth, this is the space you want to be in. All right. Thank you everyone for joining me today. This was so much fun. I appreciate your love, all the hearts. I'm going to be reading over all the comments later as well because I think I missed a few. If you're on the replay, continue to share with me how you're feeling in this energy, what you're releasing and letting go of in this full moon, and I will hold that space for you. So I'm sending you so much love and blessings your way, and I will see you very soon. Bye.